president has been quite clear. They must follow federal law. He also wants to see Harvard apologize, and Harvard should apologize.
In an escalation of tensions between academia and government, the Trump administration has launched a civil rights investigation into Harvard University, and it's making headlines across the country. At the center of the storm, the Harvard Law Review, a prestigious student-run journal, is being accused of race-based discrimination in its article selection process. The U.S. Departments of Education and Health and Human Services announced the probe on Monday, claiming editors at the Law Review may have fast-tracked a submission written by a radical minority scholar, allegedly prioritizing race over merit. But this investigation didn't drop in isolation. Just hours earlier, a federal judge agreed to fast-track Harvard's lawsuit against the Trump administration, a legal battle over the freezing of a staggering $2.3 billion in federal research funding. Harvard warned that the freeze could cripple vital medical and scientific research, and accused the administration of issuing illegal demands, from restructuring university governance to interfering in hiring and academic content. The university says those demands violate the First Amendment, threatening academic freedom and free speech. Meanwhile, the Trump administration's broader crackdown continues, targeting diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, climate initiatives, and even transgender policies on campuses.
First, when it comes to Harvard, as I said, the president has been quite clear. They must follow federal law. He also wants to see Harvard apologize, and Harvard should apologize for the egregious anti-Semitism that took place on their college campus against Jewish American students. There were professors who said that he had engaged in discriminatory behavior against Jewish students. Of course, you had the former president of the university saying bullying and harassment depends on the context. You also had an encampment on Harvard Yard that we all saw play out before the cameras. The university failed to impose formal discipline on any students for this anti-Semitic conduct violations, including the occupation of a campus building and the disruption of classes with bullhorns. The president believes Harvard should apologize to its Jewish American students for allowing such egregious behavior.
Harvard recently renamed its DEI office to Community and Campus Life, signaling a shift in response to growing pressure. But critics argue this is merely cosmetic, and the real issue lies in Washington's growing control over what schools can teach, who they can hire, and how they can function. The backdrop to all of this: last year's pro-Palestinian protests on campuses, which the administration claims were fueled by anti-Semitism, leading to investigations, threats to revoke tax-exempt status, and demands for compliance that rights groups warn could chill academic dissent. As the July 21 hearing approaches, the nation watches not just to see how Harvard fares, but to understand what's really at stake in the battle between free inquiry and federal power.
Subscribe to Oneindia and never miss an update.